Hello, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to be covering all of the new legend buffs and nerfs and the weapon buffs and nerfs that are coming in this next update. The patch notes are now live and so is the latest Apex Legends dev stream, so make sure to go check those out. Now quickly before we start, if you like this type of content and want to see more about Apex Legends news, leaks, and lore, make sure to subscribe. It'll help me out a lot and it will help you out a lot when you get to see my new awesome videos every day. So let's get into this. Firstly is Lifeline. Her passive now allows her to revive teammates with her drone with a shield, and she can also revive teammates on herself like any other legend would. However, this totally replaces her old passive where she could revive faster on her own with the shield, and she also no longer has any fast heal. For her tactical, she can now place her drone much faster. It has been reduced by 15 seconds from 60 to 45. And for her ultimate, whenever you get a healing item in a care package, there's now 3 of them. And whenever you get an attachment in a care package, it now has 2 of them. So definitely a nice change to the care package. Now, my favorite change in this whole thing was to Octane. First, tactical. Upon activation, the stim will remove all impairing effects. This means that he cannot be slowed by bullets, and he cannot be slowed by gas or any other type of thing that would normally slow a character. And the stim speed is also slightly increased by 10%. Now for his ultimate, players can now double jump in the mid-air using Octane's launch pad. So this allows them to change direction and be less predictable while on the jump pad. Now to Revenant. First tactical, it will now cancel Pathfinder mid-grapple and Wraith mid-phase. Definitely a nice little buff that will definitely annoy some of those Pathfinder Wraith mains. It will also prevent Mirage Cloaked Revive, Mirage Decoil Control Activation, and the Lifeline Combat Revive. So that's also pretty big. For his ultimate, there is a slight tweak. The range was completely removed, so you can push a squad no matter how far away they are, but you still have that timer. For Crypto, his tactical now takes 1.5 seconds to deploy. So just a small little buff. Normally doesn't mean much, but it adds that little bit to help. And for his ultimate, the EMP will now disable Wattson pylons. So this is huge for pushing a Wattson that's camped up in a building. Onto Loba. For tactical, her teleportation bracelet will no longer be intercepted by Wattson pylon. And for her ultimate, the Black Market Boutique, you'll only be able to stack up one type of ammo. And the ultimate accelerants are slightly increased to give 20% ult charge from what it used to be at 17.5. Now Mirage. First tactical, you can hold down the tactical button and then release it when you want to control the decoy. So just a different way of controlling it. Decoys will now stay lines when shot, which is just a little thing they added. Passive. When cloaked, Mirage's hollow emitters will be visible to players at less than 5 meters away. So this removes that situation when you're walking on top of a completely invisible Mirage while reviving a teammate, and all of a sudden both of them up and smack you with a Mastiff. And when skydiving, you will now be able to create decoys for your entire squad. However, this is only before you split off from your squad. And for Gibraltar, the fast heal granted inside the dome shield will slow down from 25 to 15. Not a whole lot, but a little bit that will nerf. And to Caustic, enemies can now cancel Caustic barrels by shooting or punching before they are fully inflated or while they are in the air. So this will definitely help Caustic from just slamming a bunch of them down when you run up on one. It now forces him to use them as a much more defensive instead of an attacking type thing. And Wattson. So the changes to Wattson were to make it easier for enemies to get into Wattson camped up in a building. So the Wattson pylons now only last for 90 seconds, but you can store up to 3 pylons at one time, and you can stack ultimate accelerants. So a small little change, basically forcing Wattson mains to keep those ultimate accelerants. And Wraith. This was the one that confused me the most. I thought Wraith was going to get more of a nerf, however this is kind of a strange thing what they decided to do. So the phase walk now takes 1.25 seconds to enable, and it used to be a little under half, so that is quite a big nerf. And during this time, Wraith is slowed 20%. So during that 1.25 second, you will be slightly slower. So that is a nerf. And this does not affect phase walk while placing a portal. So when you're placing a portal, you don't get slowed down. And while on phase walk, Wraith now moves 30% faster, so basically how fast Octane was before. And she can also see other players while in phase walk. And the phase walk lasts a whole second more. And the cooldown was cut down for 10 seconds. Honestly, if I was a Wraith main, I would be so worried about this update that was coming out, and if I would have seen what they actually did, I'd be so pumped. I think this is more of a buff than a nerf. However, that 1.25 second will definitely take a lot of adjusting and planning ahead. For the phase tunnel though, it was reduced by 25%. So it goes slightly shorter, and this will also take some adjusting to get used to when pulling teammates out of ring. Now let's talk about weapons and loot. So for ziplines, a cooldown will be applied to re-grappling ziplines without touching the ground. And a cooldown will increase with each time a player disconnects and re-grabs the zipline. The cooldown will reset when the player touches the ground. So that is definitely an interesting change that has happened. We'll have to get used to that over the course of this season. Now for the Havoc. Finally, Havoc nerf. We've all been waiting for it. It greatly increased horizontal recoil on the initial shots. So those first two shots with the Havoc are definitely going to be hard to control. And decreased the magazine size by 4 bullets. Definitely the small little nerf it needed. Now for the Sentinel. The recharge time has been slightly increased to 1.75 seconds. And the energized duration has also been decreased from 90 to 120. Other little things that were changed, teammates can now ping a friendly caustic trap, a new health bar for when users are in Reverent Shadow form, and the map rotation times are now even between Kings Canyon and World's Edge. So there's no 2 hours at World's Edge for an hour at Kings Canyon. It's all the same. Now for bug fixes. So fix the issue with some railing not being climbable. Fix an issue with being unable to mute squad before Legend Select. Definitely a big one they need to do. Remove the exploitable spots against Prowlers in Bloodhound's trials. Fix issue when loot spawning is in unreachable places in both Kings Canyon and World's Edge. That has been happening to me multiple times. Fix an issue with players being able to move and walk speed when downed. Fix an issue in Prowlers not killing Mirage decoys in one swipe. Also fixed issue with Ninja controller layout and death boxes. They also fixed an issue with the "You Got a Treasure Pack" message appearing after each match, with absolutely killed my brain, so I'm glad that's gone. Crypto bug fixes fix an issue with Crypto's drone flying without input if the user started to sprint before double tap the sprint option. For Lifeline, fix an issue with Lifeline able to drop her care package on a quest artifact location, preventing the users from picking up the artifact. Haven't seen that one. Fix an issue with Lifeline's drone getting stuck in the air after collision with an Octane jump pad. Now for Loba, there's a few of them. Fixed issues with Loba being able to get out of bounds areas using Burglar's Best Friend. Fix an issue with Loba's Burglar's Best Friend being blocked by an invisible collision at the entrance of firing range. Also fix an issue with Loba's Black Market Boutique not showing the correct range, and also not now shows the correct ammo count for care package weapons. Fix an issue with Loba's Tactical not functioning on surfaces. You should now be able to recreate the trailer moment, so that is pretty cool. Loba's ult is now refunded if it gets caught between two doors. So, nice little fixes to Loba. With Mirage, fix an issue with Mirage decoys not being able to ping correctly under certain conditions. Fix an issue with Mirage decoys not being able to crouch walk through certain areas. Also fix an issue with Mirage decoys playing the fall animation when the player is falling. Fix an issue where Mirage can still control his decoys after being silenced by Revenant. Now, with Octane, they fixed an issue with Octane bounce pads deleting other Legends abilities, and fixed an issue with Octane's jump pads disappearing when other Legends tacticals interact with it, and fixed the issue with Octane's jump pads falling through the floor on hover tanks. With Pathfinder, fixed an issue with Pathfinder's grapple not allowing running if failed deploy occurred. Fixed an audio issue with the survey beacons being too loud when used. Those things were so noisy. And with Revenant, fixed an issue with Revenant's death totem not being rendered for over 200 meters. Fixed an issue with Revenant's audio for his tactical cutting off halfway through its playback. And one for Wraith, fixed an issue with not being able to heal after getting knocked and going through a Wraith portal. So that is all they have listed here in the patch notes. Super excited for this event. Huge updates, huge changes. Definitely going to be a great event. The one bug I've been having is my knockdown shield not being able to pull up. I've been talking to some friends. It happens to me all the time, like at least once a day. They've never seen it before, so maybe it's just a Bloodhound thing, because Bloodhound's really the only person I ever play. So I don't know. I'll have to see about that later. But this is definitely looking like a very, very heavy changes in these patch notes. I think a lot of what they've done made the Legends more balanced and brought a lot of them up to like very useful in ranked situations. And definitely more checks and balances between the Legends themselves when it comes to abilities. Kind of confused with what they did to Wraith, but I sort of like the changes and it's going to take a lot of adjusting. So this is all I have for you guys in this video. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to stay tuned to this channel for more, and I'll see you in the next one.